Bud Selig was a used car salesman before he was the baseball commissioner. So and now this guy's in the Hall of Fame for all the steroids and how he just brushed it under the rug, and then all of a sudden he threw everybody to the wolves, not giving a crap what he did and how bad he ruined certain players' careers because of the whole steroid thing. Because the Senate got involved, the House of Representatives got involved, and they said, you better do something, and if you don't do something, we're going to do something. So he threw everybody under the bus. So I'm not a big Bud Selig fan. He ruined the game of baseball. If anything, what saved baseball was Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, and those guys will never see the Hall of Fame because Bud Selig decided, hey, you know what? I don't care what they did at the time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do, because I'm going to hurt myself and my career if I don't do anything about it.
Yeah, and the thing about Manfred is Bud Selig, he could sell a used car. I would never buy a used car from Rob Manfred because he'd be that guy at the dealership who's very uninterested in even selling you the car. He's like checking his phone, and you're like, look, I just want to buy the 2008 Camry. Just I'll give you a couple grand. Just can you do something? Oh, I'm texting. That's Manfred. He doesn't. I know it seems like a mean thing to say that he doesn't like baseball, but he never really seems to just be all that interested in what goes on in baseball outside of the role of a commissioner.
He's been Bud Selig's puppet. That's what he's been. That's what he is.
And I remember Manfred talking about like the World Series championship, that it's just a hunk of metal. It's like that you can't do that, because whatever you think of the World Series trophy, and even if you think the playoffs are a crapshoot, you want to tell people that there's still something worth chasing. That's kind of the game. I always hate to use wrestling analogies in baseball, but the belts in wrestling only work when they're perceived to have value in the storylines. If they're cheap to get, then nobody cares about the storylines. If the World Series trophy is cheap to get, nobody's going to care about it in the end, and that's not really ideal for a sport.
Is that a dig at the Houston Astros of 2019 or 2017?
I don't want to think about the trash. I'm tired of. I never want to see a metal galvanized trash can again after that.
It was probably gold, if anything. I mean, we should ask Carlos Beltran if it was actually a gold can that was being hit, because
I'd appreciate that, because it just felt so low tech for the late 2010s. I'd want to have spy cameras on the opposing players, like the rosin bag, or just something clever. Not we're gonna hit a trash can for the big.
Maybe you can ask Max Scherzer. He knows a thing or two about rosin bags and then getting caught with sticky stuff,
and probably sticky stuff in his pants.
Well, it didn't help him this year. He still pitched like a third starter, making $43 million a year, and now he's hurt.
Well, it's disappointing.
With that whole controversy this year, because the MLB was tracking down on that big time more than ever, but it seemed like they were kind of hypocritical the way they did it. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, the way MLB kind of introduced the sticky stuff is they sort of just announced it randomly in the middle of an off season and said, okay, everyone figure this out really quickly. Which pitchers don't like, because pitchers kind of want, whatever the ball is, they want to know what the ball is, what the rule is, because players train on equipment, they work on their pitches. And I know that teams themselves have been mad at Manfred several times over recent years about the baseball, because you are spending, $150, $200, $250 million on contracts. And it's a league that can't even be certain what the equipment is and what the rules are going to be. No. Just to steal another football analogy, what if, okay, there's going to be a new football next year, and we're going to tell you about it in August.
Was it done by the New England Patriots?